Since the engineer has stopped, I thought I'd like to continue with a second, what I think is an important part of information towards your quest. So if you remember, or if you can recall some moment where you've been in an incident where you're not interested, but your mind says you have to pretend you're interested because of consequences. Whether it's you'll lose your job, whether it's you won't get on your aeroplane because you have to show interest in the safety talk or the brief or the getting the ticket. There's times when you're not interested, and we all go through it and we pretend we are interested, because if we don't pretend we are interested, there's a chance of not being accepted, not fitting in, losing out on something. So we follow this path of pretense, the mind. The mind in its quest is always seeking, always looking, and it always knows when it's interested and not interested. I have a family friend who follows boundaries. It means boundaries. If you're not interested, leave the room, you see. I remember at primary school, not primary school, secondary school, I had so much going for me. A very, very intelligent, very smart cookie in first year. And then something said in class, this is no longer interesting. You look at the subject and you say, this is so easy, but I'm not interested in proving and justifying that I know that I'm maybe a year ahead of the topic at this moment. You don't communicate because that's ego. So when you realize your ego is already arising and falling, arising and falling, arising and falling, you just switch off and you start seeing things in the class that are not worthy of topic, you see. Everything in the class is interesting except what's on the blackboard and what the teacher is speaking about and what's in the books in front of me. Everything is really interesting, but it's not interesting because there's no one to share it with. There's nothing to know about it. None of this interest is going to make me into a genius in the world of geniuses, in the human world of, listen to the subject, then you'll be a genius. Tell the teacher it's too easy, then you'll be a genius. You'll go into the higher class, then you'll be a genius. The idea of not being interested is not that you don't respect the subject, you don't respect the situation. You just find something that is much more fulfilling. Being in silence in a class, you don't get bored, start kicking your legs and all of this and scratching your head, and that's no respect for the other students in the class. You just sit in silence and understand that life is so free. So you use the situation of no interest in the subject, and you don't look for other interests. Your mind doesn't wander off and say, what am I going to do when the class is finished? I'm going to go out on my bike, I'm going to play football, I'm going to do this. You sit with it. Same in the meeting room. I mean, in a world peace, in the world organization, all these big, wonderful humans who from each country who meet and say, let's get together and see how we can restore peace, or we can fix the planet, or we can resolve the ailments of the human people that we serve. And they're all discussing, and they say, what about you, Graham? Yeah. Yes. Have you nothing to say? It's just great seeing you all here today. It's wonderful seeing how your body moves, how you communicate, how you appear in your different uniforms and clothes, how the light from the window is creating so much oneness. You get kicked out. Yeah, but we all know that. So you realize that you're just a child. And you'll not fit into the world of academia. And therefore, it's not painful if you get rejected. You pretend to yourself, to your mind, I should be in pain, I've been rejected, because your mind is conditioned and programmed you into explaining. Never be rejected. So you're not in the place of being rejected, because you cannot be rejected, because you realize non-duality is, where can you go? Where can they put you? In the corner, in the corridor? Kick you out of the war meeting, the peace meeting? You find something else. You keep going on. There's no pain, no pleasure, no attachment, no associations. And people say, and the other minds say, oh, come on. Get out of it. And you say, I don't want to get out of it. I am truly in it. I am truly in it. This body cannot be taken out of it until the body says, no more body. So, be free in it. Be free in the body. Be free in the mind. Be free in non-interest. Be free in interest. This is not a speech to say you should be interested. I didn't say, the hell with school. I'm bored. I sat through it. Wonderful times. Looking at people. Realizing that we are some sort of incredible, whether it's manufactured or natural things, we have the capabilities of just being refreshing to each other by being here. And that's what awakening is. You're refreshed by this most simplest and most dire things. But refreshed doesn't mean stimulated. Refreshed means just, this is good. This is okay. And you watch all the gurus in the satsang hall and all the past gurus, and they sit and there's no fluctuating of shouting and screaming or laughing and joking. There's little giggles. Or little silences. Because they see something that the intelligent mind does not see. They see peace. They see liberation. They see freedom in everything. They don't see boundaries and attachments and relationships that's holding them back. And it's not like the 60s, like the hippies, where you go out and have sex with anyone and drink and take drugs and be free. And that's just another ego mind way of complying with the ego. Because the ego says you should be at peace. You're entitled to peace. But what the speaker's speaking about is nothing telling me. Someone didn't say you shouldn't be at school. The mind didn't say you shouldn't be at the subject. You are a year above them. It just accepted the situation. It became part of the situation. And sometimes you would wake up and give the answer. And the class would go, wow, how do you know that? And you don't know. You don't say, well, it's because I'm smaller than you, because I've been a mathematician in the past life. I don't know. It just happened. Things just happen. And when you understand life in your whole life, if you look at your childhood, when you became your puberty, when you became a man, your working ethics, a lot of things that you can see back, you realize, were they meaningful? Were they for a purpose? Was it a learning? Was it a bad experience or a good experience? Your mind and its human ego way can make assumptions out of this and make some sort of criteria out of this. But when you see it from the truth, you say, well, all these experiences, they just happened. They're not pre-planned experiences. They're not organized before you come into the body experiences. They're not coincidental synchronicities. They just happened. Like the tongue drying the lips happened. Some sort of genius works behind this happening. But it's not interested in what the ego thinks it's interested in. It's just interested in observing what it's created. And when you are interested in observing who you are, what you are, and what you're able, your capabilities of, with or without mind, you become that observer, and everything becomes awake, real, genuine. The truth is always here. It's just that we choose whether to believe it or find it or seek it or search with it through a mind, or we just realize it is here in all ways, always.